Ford found out a little while ago that there's a problem with the cylinder. The aluminum is too soft. It's cutting into the drum back there. Eventually they'll cut the drum in half. It is not normal. It should not be black or blued like that. I'm Ken, I'm the lead transmission builder here at Tri-City Transmissions. This bad boy in front of me here is a 10R80 out of a Ford F-150. General Motors has pretty much the same transmission. They call it a 10L80. Externally, they look different. Internally, the Ford and the General Motors transmissions are pretty much identical. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this apart, show you some of the basic issues that we find with them, and we'll just go from there. So let's go ahead and get started. Start by taking this torque converter out of here. Before I can remove the pump on this, I'll have to flip the transmission over. All the 10R80s run this plastic style pan in them. Remove the transmission filter. You can see on this one the transmission filter has two built-in magnets. There's also one in the pan as well, so that can kind of give you an idea of if we already have metal contamination, which it looks like we obviously do. Take that out, put it off to the side. On this transmission, like a lot of the new transmissions that are out nowadays, in order to get the pump out, you have to remove the valve body or part of it. You can't just remove the front pump on it. So we'll unlock, there's an electrical connector right here. We'll go ahead and unlock that, pull it out. And I can remove my bolts. Probably thinking, Ken, you're pretty smart. How do you know at what bolts to take out and what to leave in there? Because if I take out the wrong bolts, the valve body's gonna fall apart. I'm cheating. On this particular transmission, there are little arrows, and each little arrow shows you which bolt to take out and which not to. Also on the late model transmissions, the other bolts have a different style head on them. So it would be hard for me to mess up. On the early 10 speeds, all the bolts were identical, but they still had the arrows, so it would show you which bolts to take off and which not. So I'm cheating. I'm looking at the arrows. I've also built hundreds and hundreds of these transmissions, so I'm very familiar with them. There's two speed sensors that I need to remove. Two input speed sensors, so I'll just move those out of the way for now. I know Dave has said on other videos, he talked about how a pump works and shown you how in the bell housing you have a pump. On the 10 speeds, the pump is not in the bell housing. It's actually in the pan right here. So this is the actual transmission pump on a 10 speed. I'll show you how it works here in a second. On a regular pump, you have a torque converter driving the pump gear. And it's pretty much the same setup here, but on this one, you'll see that there is a gear here, and then there's an idler gear stuck inside the front cover. That's being driven by the torque converter, and then that idler gear is driving the actual transmission pump that's in the pan. So this has a remote oil pump in the pan. So now that I've got this apart, I've got the pump out, I can remove the front cover bolts. Easiest way to remove the front cover. Just take my screwdriver. There's a set of clutches right here, and that pops my pump out. So there is no actual pump in this front cover. There's just this drive gear driven by the torque converter up front, and that drive gear is what's actually driving the pump in the pan. I do have a set of clutches up front here with a one-way clutch. We can take that apart later, but for now I'll move that off to the side. Internally on the transmission, there are a set of clutches up front called the A clutch. After the A clutch is out of the way, I can take a look at those. They all look good. I don't see any heat marks or stress marks on the steels or the clutches. I believe the customer concern on this one was came out of reverse and then shifting erratic. So I don't see anything there. The interesting part about these 10 speeds, whether it's a General Motors or a Ford, like I said, internally they're all the same. The clutches and the planets are all housed in one big cylinder. So now what I'm going to do is just reach in there, pull the whole cylinder out, and then I'll have to take the cylinder apart piece by piece to get all the components out. So that is our clutch cylinder housing. There's a snap ring that holds our planets in the front, planet in the center, and all our clutch components in between. So in the back of the transmission, the only thing left back there right now is a rear output planet, but there's no clutches in the transmission. They're all inside this unit. There's a snap ring right there. Take that. Now I can pull this planet out. Front planet, front sun gear, secondary planet and sun gear. I like to stack them up when I take them out, that way they're all together and off to the side. There are needle bearings in between each component, so as long as I keep everything together, I won't get anything mixed up. I may have done 100 of these, but I always like to make sure I keep all my components together. Clutch hub. This might not come out because I think this is where my problem is, and I'll show you in a second. Oh, I got it. Look at that. So there's our clutch hub. This cylinder is called the CDF cylinder, and I know Dave has talked about these in a previous podcast. I'll talk about it here in a second. So there's our empty clutch cylinder. What's interesting about these clutch cylinders is that Ford found out a little while ago that there's a problem with the cylinder. The aluminum is too soft, and the clutches are very sharp on the outside here. And I don't know if you can see it real well, but it's cutting into the drum back there. And those cuts off to the side, they're not supposed to be there. And actually, this one looks like it's pretty much cut all the way through. And that's what happens. They'll cut all the way through this drum, and eventually they'll cut the drum in half. So there is an updated part that Ford has for this. GM uses the exact same updated part because they're having the same problems as well. So this cylinder drum is called the CDF cylinder, and it's called the CDF cylinder because it has 3 clutches in it. It has the F clutch, the C clutch, and the D clutch. So those are our 3 clutches in this drum. So Ford just decided to call it a CDF cylinder. So let me take these apart, show you how they're set up. There's a snap ring here. Set of clutches. You can see definitely where that clutch has started getting hot and burning on the steel. These aren't as bad, but if one is burnt, the other clutches are burnt too. We don't take a chance. So this clutch has gotten overheated enough to where it started to turn the steel blue. So I'll put that one off to the side. The next clutch I'm going to take apart is the F clutch. The F clutch is the one that tends to cut into that clutch cylinder. It's very sharp, the edges are sharp, and I can already see that it's starting to burn. You can see how dark the steels are in between it. So let me go ahead and take this apart. There are 3 snap rings that hold this clutch in. So this little one here that's always a bugger. You know, Ford and GM must have thought that there was going to be a problem with this snap ring popping out. So they put that snap ring in, then they put this lock ring in. Then behind the lock ring is the actual snap ring that holds the clutch in. So let me find the opening. There's our 3rd snap ring. And now I can take the F clutch off. And I was right. So you can see how black those steels have gotten. That is not normal. They should not be black or blued like that, like they're all overheated. The reason they're overheated or all blue like that is because these clutches cut into that drum, and as they cut into that drum, they don't get to move up and down properly, and they lock up and they cause overheating. I have 1 clutch left in here. Let's just take those out. set of clutches, and those look like they're not too bad. Maybe a little bit of overheating on the steel right there, but I'll have to take a closer look at those after I wash them up. I think me and Dave are going to go through a little bit more on the CDF cylinder. Like I said, Ford knows there's a problem with this large cylinder here. Ford, I don't know why, but for some reason General Motors hasn't been having a big problem with the CDF cylinder, but Ford has had a really big problem with it. They weren't machined right from the factory, and they cause all kinds of issues. There's a metal sleeve inside the drum right here. You can kind of see it right here. That's the metal sleeve part. And these rings ride on that metal sleeve. For some reason, Ford's metal sleeve moves backwards towards this bushing. So what they ended up doing, this is a later Model 1, but what they ended up doing was putting like an edge right here, and that keeps the metal sleeve from moving backwards. We've seen that a lot. I've seen it a lot. I used to work at Ford, so I've seen a lot of them come in with that metal sleeve out of place, and that causes all kinds of shift issues as well. So, you know, currently right now, all I really see is that F clutch is bad, the C clutch is bad, and our what we affectionately call the trash can, or the clutch cylinder, is worn out and damaged too, so that'll have to be replaced. Of course, with the updated part. As a matter of fact, you can't even get the aluminum clutch cylinder anymore. They don't even manufacture it. So the only one you can get now is it's a hardened one, and we never have a problem with it after that. So that's basically the 10-speed. You would think that with a 10-speed, you'd got a lot more parts going on inside. Really not that much. About the same moving parts in this transmission as there would be in a 4-speed. We're just moving shifts around, and we're putting clutches on and turning clutches off in different segments, so we can get 10 speeds out of this transmission. Other than that, it's not, I wouldn't say it's an easy transmission to work on, but it's definitely fun to work on. I love working on the 10 speeds. They always keep me going as far as my brain goes, so I like to keep thinking and on my toes. So yep, that's a 10-speed for as far as teardown goes.